Good day, everyone. Why does one sentence disappear from memory while another echoes in your mind for years? Listen, all the world's a stage, and all the men and women merely players. This is not just language, it is language transformed into thought, philosophy, and imagination. But how does this transformation happen? The answer lies in literary devices, the powerful techniques that turn ordinary words into extraordinary literature. They shape meaning, intensify emotion, and create lasting impact. In today's lecture, we will explore how these devices work and why they matter. From metaphor to symbolism, from imagery to irony. Welcome to Literary Devices in English Literature. Let us begin with a precise academic definition. What are literary devices? Literary devices are deliberate, linguistic, structural, and rhetorical techniques used by writers to produce specific artistic, emotional, and intellectual effects. In simpler terms, literary devices are the tools that give literature its depth, beauty, and power. Without them, writing would only inform. With them, writing begins to move, inspire, and transform. Now, let us explore one of the most powerful literary devices, imagery. Imagery is the use of vivid and descriptive language to create sensory experiences for the reader. It appeals to sight, sound, smell, taste, and touch. Consider this example. A host of golden daffodils, beside the lake beneath the trees, fluttering and dancing in the breeze. Golden, visual imagery, representing color. Fluttering and dancing, movement. Breeze, a tactile sensation. The reader does not just read, they see, feel, and experience the scene. Imagery makes literature alive and immersive. Now, let us examine another essential literary device, simile. A simile is a figure of speech that compares two unlike things using like or as. The comparison is always made explicit through like or as. Consider this example by Robert Burns. My love is like a red, red rose that's newly sprung in June. Love, an abstract emotion. Rose, a concrete image. This comparison suggests beauty, freshness, and fragility. Simile makes abstract ideas clear, vivid, and relatable. Closely related to simile is another powerful device, metaphor. A metaphor is a direct comparison in which one thing is said to be another, without like or as. Consider this famous line, all the world's a stage. The world becomes a stage and people become actors. This suggests that life is temporary. Roles are performed and identity is constructed. Another example, time is a thief. Time does not literally steal, but it takes away youth, moments, and opportunities. Metaphor adds depth, symbolism, and philosophical meaning. Now, let us explore how sound shapes meaning in literature, sound devices. First, alliteration. Alliteration is repetition of initial consonant sounds in nearby words. She sells seashells by the seashore. The repetition of the S sound creates rhythm and musicality. Next, assonance. Repetition of vowel sounds within words. Hear the mellow wedding bells. The repetition of the E sound creates softness and harmony. Sound devices enhance musical quality, improve memorability, and influence tone and mood. Now, let us move to personification. Personification is the attribution of human characteristics to non-human objects or abstract ideas. Consider the example, because I could not stop for death, he kindly stopped for me. Death is given human traits, kindness, and intention. Death becomes less frightening and more gentle. Personification makes abstract ideas emotionally accessible. Now, let us examine hyperbole. Hyperbole is an intentional and obvious exaggeration used for emphasis. I love you till the seas go dry and the rocks melt with the sun. Seas cannot dry, rocks cannot melt in this way. The exaggeration expresses intense love. Hyperbole adds drama, intensity, and emotional force. Now, let us explore one of the most intellectually engaging devices, irony. Irony is a literary device in which there is a contrast between what appears to be the case and what actually is the case. In simple terms, appearance versus reality, expectation versus outcome. Verbal irony occurs when a speaker says something but means the opposite. Imagine a student, completely unprepared, saying, "I'm absolutely ready for this test." The statement is positive, but the intended meaning is negative. In Pride and Prejudice, the opening line reads, "It is a truth universally acknowledged." It sounds like a serious truth, but it is actually ironic and satirical. It creates humor and wit, reveals hidden attitudes, and is often used in satire. Situational irony occurs when the actual outcome is completely different from what was expected. A fire station burns down. We expect firefighters to prevent fires. But here, the opposite happens. In The Gift of the Magi, the wife sells her hair to buy a chain. The husband sells his watch to buy combs. Both sacrifices cancel each other out. It creates surprise and emotional impact, often producing a bittersweet meaning. Dramatic irony occurs when the audience knows something that the characters do not. In Romeo and Juliet, the audience knows Juliet is alive, but Romeo believes she is dead. This creates painful tension. We know the truth, but the character does not. It builds suspense and tension, engages the audience emotionally, and intensifies tragedy. Now, let us explore symbolism. Symbolism is the use of a concrete object to represent an abstract idea. In the Scarlet Letter, the letter A symbolizes sin, shame, and social judgment. A symbol often carries multiple meanings depending on context. Symbolism adds layers of interpretation. Now, allegory. An allegory is an extended narrative in which characters and events represent abstract ideas or political realities. Consider Animal Farm. Animals represent political leaders, the farm represents society, and events reflect historical revolution. The story operates on two levels, literal and symbolic. Allegory allows writers to criticize society indirectly. Next, repetition. Repetition is the deliberate reuse of words or phrases to emphasize an idea. Alone, alone, all alone. The repetition intensifies the feeling of loneliness. It reinforces meaning, creates rhythm, and heightens emotion. Now, oxymoron and paradox. An oxymoron combines two contradictory words. Sweet sorrow. Love can be both joyful and painful. A paradox is a statement that seems contradictory but reveals a deeper truth. Less is more. Simplicity can be more powerful than excess. These devices challenge thinking, reveal deeper truths, and add intellectual depth. So, what have we discovered? Literary devices are not ornaments, they are the foundation of literary expression. They shape meaning, create emotion, build imagery, and invite interpretation. The next time you read a poem, a novel, or a play, don't just read the words. Ask yourself, what technique is being used? What deeper meaning is hidden? Because in literature, language is never just language. It is art, thought, and experience combined. That's all for today. Thank you.